We have just entered the new year 2022. As soon as we hit the fall season, we will see the new iPhone 14 lineup. With new design, iPhone 14 lineup is expected to have a Touch ID, USB-C connectivity, and more improved cameras than iPhone 13. So let's talk about what we know about iPhone 14. There are no rumors about release date. But if we look at past release dates of iPhone, so we can say Apple might release a new iPhone in September of 2022. For price, it's too early to say anything. But I think Apple might stick to similar price as iPhone 13. iPhone 13 lineup pricing starts from $799 for the regular iPhone 13 and $999 for the iPhone 13 Pro. However, there might be no iPhone 14 mini, so we expect a larger 6.7-inch iPhone 14 to cost $899. Well, this is according to some reports, but we are not sure of it. From there, the iPhone 14 Pro could cost $999 and the iPhone 14 Pro Max will cost $1,099. Even after a poor sale of iPhone 12 mini, Apple unveiled the iPhone 13 mini. But unfortunately, iPhone 13 mini wasn't able to perform well. Apple is rumored to end the mini version of iPhones. Instead of mini version, there will be an iPhone 14 Plus or Max alongside the regular 6.1-inch iPhone 14. So there will be two regular size and two larger size iPhones. There is also a report that claims that there will be an iPhone 14 Max with 6.7-inch display and a higher price tag than the iPhone 13 mini. It will be a great phone for those who love larger Apple devices. But remember, this device will come without any pro features. If you are enjoying this video, subscribing this channel will motivate me to make more content like this. Thank you. According to Prosser, the iPhone 14 will look like the iPhone 12, but it will also be similar to iPhone 4. It will feature the flat edges like iPhone 12 and rounded volume buttons like iPhone 4. The sides will be made up of a titanium that will make this device more stronger than the previous generation iPhones. The back will feature the glass but a satin-like finish. Prosser claims that the iPhone 14 will feature the lightning ports. Another design update that might be in the plans for the iPhone 14 is that the trio of rear cameras will no longer protrude from the iPhone's back but will instead rest flat with it. This might be a possibility considering improvements in camera sensor technology and lens protection. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman has also commented on the iPhone 14 rumors, claiming that the next iPhone will have a complete redesign that would be much different from the iPhone 13. That's because according to Gurman, Apple's engineers were working behind the scenes on bigger things that will take more time, and as a result, the iPhone 14 will have more substantial upgrades than the iPhone 13. The most significant change is expected to be the permanent elimination of the display notch, which has been there since the iPhone 10. Some concept renders shows no notch, no rear camera bump, and USB-C connectivity. While these kind of huge changes are unlikely to happen, let's see what iPhone 14 will bring with it. We are anticipating a major shift in the iPhone 14 lineup, with the basic iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro sporting a 6.1-inch display and iPhone 14 Plus and iPhone 14 Pro Max having a 6.7-inch display. So there will be no more 5.4-inch mini iPhone as I mentioned before. Given that the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max feature 120Hz refresh rate displays, it would be amazing to see such a screen on all iPhone 14 models. According to new supply chain report, the iPhone 14 Max, also known as the iPhone 14 Plus, would include a 120Hz refresh rate display. LG is reportedly the screen manufacturer in this case. However, it's unclear if the normal iPhone 14 will get a higher refresh rate or remain at 60Hz. According to one source from the Elec, at least one iPhone 14 model would include an LTPS display, indicating that the 60Hz panel will remain in iPhone 14. Subsequent supply chain rumors suggest that a standard iPhone 14 might miss the fast refresh rate display. The most consistent rumors about next generation iPhone claims the elimination of the display notch. While it was reduced in size in iPhone 13 series, but it will not be a part of iPhone 14 anymore. However, the iPhone 14 is expected to be the last to ditch the notch, with Apple reportedly choosing a punch-hole front-facing camera instead, similar to many of the top Android phones. Prosser renders, which are based on rumors, indicate how the iPhone 14 might include a selfie camera situated in a punch-hole cutout on the phone's left side that would give an iPhone bit of top screen space. This rumor was supported by a report claiming that the iPhone 14 Pro will feature a notchless design. According to a second supply chain leak, LG's iPhone 14 Pro Max screens would include a punch-hole camera cutout rather than a notch. It's unclear if this notchless display will be available on all iPhone 14 variants or not. After all these renders, some people raised a question about Face ID sensors. Where will Apple place the Face ID sensor? So Apple might put the Face ID sensors under the OLED display. But expert Ross Young said under-panel Face ID isn't final yet. But it is easier than under-panel camera. It's still unclear whether Apple will adopt a punch-hole camera style for iPhone 14 lineup or not. Let me know what you guys think about it in a comment section below. One of the biggest changes expected to happen in iPhone 14 is the return of Touch ID. We don't know where Apple will place the Touch ID sensor, whether in a power button or under the display like Android phones. Some of the rumors suggest that iPhone 14 will lack the fingerprint sensor, but I think it's time for the return of Touch ID. There are chances that Apple might place the Touch ID in power button, much like the iPad Pro. We heard some rumors about iPhone 14 camera. Apple analyst Ming Haiqiu said iPhone 14 Pro models will feature 48MP camera. It will be a big jump from iPhone 13's 12MP camera. Another leak also claims that there will be 48MP camera to go alongside a telephoto lens and ultra-wide angle snapper. Better telephoto capabilities would be great for iPhone 14 users, like if Apple adopts secondary telephoto 10x zoom camera like Samsung Galaxy S21. One of the rumors suggests that Apple is working on a periscope-style zoom camera for iPhone 14, or at least for Pro models. However, Ming Haiqiu said this type of zoom camera won't be there till iPhone 15, that will launch in 2023. We have heard few rumored specs of iPhone 14. One of the main things we expect to happen is use of a newer A16 chipset, not the older A15 chip that powered the iPhone 13, as newer chipset will offer a notable boost in performance. We also expect iPhone 14 to use smaller 4nm chipset from a company known as TSMC, as iPhone 13 used the 5nm chipset. But some reports suggest that TSMC has been facing some problems creating 4nm chipset, which directly indicates that iPhone 14 will use the 5nm older chipset. If this is true, then it will be the first time Apple iPhone will use the same chipset for 3 years continuously. It's also possible that Apple might use the Apple-made 5G modem in iPhone 14 rather than the Intel's chipset. This will give more power to Apple to control performance and battery life. The chipset will be coupled with 8GB of RAM, at least for the iPhone 14 Pro versions, giving these phones a significant performance bump. Apple's dedication to efficiency and strict control of both hardware and software helped iPhones with less RAM on board to compete with latest and finest Android phones. So there is a higher chance it could perform a lot more with an extra 2GB of RAM, making the iPhone even more of a performance beast. For storage, Apple might go with the same storage options like iPhone 13, which starts at 128GB and go up to 1TB for the Pro models. One rumor suggests that Apple might drop the Lightning port and go for USB-C connectivity. We are not sure about the USB-C connectivity, but many reports claim that iPhone 14 will be the first Apple smartphone to feature USB-C connectivity. That's all for now. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. My name is Hamza Mukhtar. This is the Tech Fielder. We'll host a new video soon. Till then, take care and peace.